Why you're not losing weight even with exercise. Fix these mistakes. You're working out, sweating, pushing yourself, trying to do everything right, and yet, the scale barely moves. Or worse, it doesn't move at all. It's frustrating. Because in your mind, you're doing what everyone says you should do. Exercise more. Move your body. Stay active. So naturally, you expect results. But when those results don't come, it can feel confusing, even discouraging. You might start wondering, am I doing something wrong? Why is this working for other people, but not for me? Here's the truth most people don't talk about. Exercise alone is not always enough to make you lose weight. And more importantly, if you're not seeing results, it doesn't mean you're failing. It usually means there's something happening behind the scenes that you're not aware of. Once you understand those things, everything starts to make more sense. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Let's start with something simple, but very misunderstood. Calories burned during exercise. Most people believe that working out burns a huge amount of calories. And to be fair, it feels like it does. You sweat. Your heart is racing. You feel tired. So it must be burning a lot, right? But in reality, the number of calories burned during exercise is often much lower than we think. For example, a 30-minute workout might burn somewhere between 150 to 300 calories, sometimes a bit more, depending on intensity. But here's the part most people don't realize. That's roughly the same as a small snack. Something as simple as a sugary drink, a pastry, or even a handful of snacks can completely cancel out the calories you just burned. And it happens very easily, because after a workout you feel like you've earned it. You tell yourself, I worked hard today. I deserve this. And there's nothing wrong with that mindset. But over time, it creates a hidden pattern where you burn calories, then unintentionally replace them, sometimes even exceeding what you burned. This is what keeps many people stuck. Not because they're not working hard, but because the balance is off. In fact, studies have shown that most people tend to overestimate how many calories they burn during exercise and underestimate how much they eat afterward. Which means even when it feels like you're doing everything right, your results don't match your effort. Now let's go a little deeper, because if exercise isn't the main driver of weight loss, then what is? The answer is simple, but not always easy. Your diet, what you eat, how much you eat, and how consistently you do it. These factors play a much bigger role than exercise alone. You can work out every day, but if your eating habits are not aligned with your goals, progress becomes very slow, or sometimes non-existent. And here's where it gets tricky. It's not always obvious, because you might think you're eating healthy, and you probably are. But even healthy foods can slow your progress if you're eating too much of them. Take smoothies, for example. They're often seen as a healthy choice, and they can be. But depending on what's inside, they can easily contain 300, 400, even 600 calories. And because it's liquid, it doesn't keep you full for very long, so you end up eating again sooner. Then there are snacks, nuts, protein bars, healthy treats. Each one seems small on its own, but together, they add up quickly. Then there are the things we don't think about. Sauces, dressings, sugary drinks, little bites here and there throughout the day. These are the hidden calories, the ones that don't feel significant, but quietly affect your progress. Weight loss doesn't come from just moving more. It comes from creating a consistent balance over time, where your body uses more energy than it takes in. And that balance has to be realistic and sustainable. Now let's talk about something your body does automatically, something most people never consider. Adaptation. Your body is incredibly smart. When you start exercising, it responds, it adjusts, it becomes more efficient, which sounds like a good thing, and it is. But there's a side effect. As your body adapts, it starts using less energy to perform the same activities. So that workout that felt intense in the beginning gradually becomes easier and burns fewer calories without you even realizing it. At the same time, Your body may also adjust your overall movement. You might feel more tired during the day. Sit down more often. Move less without noticing. This is called compensation, and it's completely natural. Your body is trying to maintain balance. So even though you're exercising more, your total daily activity may not increase as much as you think, and that can slow down your results. Now let's shift to something that doesn't get enough attention: stress and sleep, because these two can have a powerful effect on your weight. Even if everything else is in place, when you're stressed, your body releases a hormone called cortisol, and when cortisol stays elevated, it can increase cravings, especially for foods that are high in sugar and calories. At the same time, stress can make it harder for your body to regulate fat storage, which means your body may hold on to weight more easily. Now add poor sleep to the equation, and things get even more challenging. When you don't get enough sleep, your hunger hormones increase. And the hormones that signal fullness decrease, which means you feel hungrier, even if your body doesn't actually need more food. You also tend to crave more energy-dense foods, and your willpower becomes lower. So even if you had a plan, it becomes harder to stick to it. This is why someone can exercise regularly, but still struggle with weight loss, because the problem isn't just movement, it's everything happening around it. Now here's something important to remember. The scale does not always reflect your progress, especially in the beginning. If you've recently started exercising, your body might be going through changes that the scale doesn't show. You might be building muscle, while losing fat at the same time. And muscle is denser than fat, so your weight might stay the same. Even though your body is improving, you might notice your clothes fitting better, your posture improving, your energy increasing. These are real signs of progress, even if the number on the scale hasn't changed yet. And finally, let's talk about consistency, because this is where everything comes together. Not motivation, not perfection, consistency. Doing the simple things, over and over again, even on the days you don't feel like it, even when progress feels slow, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Because this is where most people give up. Right before things start to shift. Weight loss is not a quick process. It's not something that happens overnight. It's the result of repeated actions, over time, and those actions don't have to be extreme. They just have to be consistent. So what should you actually focus on moving forward? Keep exercising. It's important for your health, your energy, your overall well-being. But don't rely on it alone. Pay attention to what you eat. Be aware of portion sizes. Stay consistent with your habits. Prioritize your sleep. Manage your stress as best as you can. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Your body is not working against you. It's responding to what you give it. And once you understand how it works, you can start working with it, instead of feeling stuck. If you've been struggling, just know this: you're not alone, and you're not broken. You just needed clarity. If this helped you understand things in a new way, take a moment to like this video and subscribe for more simple, practical health content that actually makes sense. And if you're ready to take your progress to the next level, check the link in the description for a step-by-step plan designed to help you stay consistent and get real results. Small changes, done consistently, lead to big results. And your journey is just beginning.